listen up. You're going to want to stick around for this one. Trust me, Celtic's got drama, brilliance, and a wee bit of controversy all rolled into one. Benjamin Nygren's tearing it up and proving the critics wrong. There's chaos over a penalty that never was. And Reo Hatate's right in the middle of it. And then, just when you think it can't get any bigger, Robbie Keane's name is back in the mix for the Celtic job. We have 6 news a day. To keep you updated with the mighty Celtic, hit that subscribe button and be part of it. Let's talk about Benjamin Nygren then, eh? The lad's been a bit of a talking point lately. Some folk love him, some just can't see it. But one thing's for sure, he's been right in the thick of almost everything good that's come from Celtic going forward this season. Nearly half of our goals have had his name stamped somewhere on them, and that's not something you can brush off with a shrug and he's no fast enough. Stats don't lie, pal. Now, I'll be honest, when Brendan first pushed him back into that midfield 3 beside Kalmak and either Arnie Engels or Reo Hatate, I thought, is this boy really going to handle that? He came from playing further up, a proper striker's position, but fair play to him. He's adapted like a lad who's been playing in paradise for years. Still, he's taken a bit of stick from some for being, let's say, a wee bit wasteful at times in front of goal. You know what that's like. The groans from the stands when the ball flies past the post. The old boys behind you shouting, "Put your laces through it, son." But here's the kicker. He's been directly involved in 44% of Celtic's league goals. That's right, nearly half. 5 goals, 2 assists, and counting. The only player in the league with better numbers is Dundee's Cameron Cotgrave, who's basically been involved in every other goal his team's scored. So maybe Benjamin deserves a bit more credit than he's getting, don't you think? What I like most is how grounded he seems. He's clearly learned a thing or two from Kasper Schmeichel. The big man's been around the block more times than a bus on Sucky Hall Street. Over 900 games in his career, still playing like a lad who's got something to prove. You can tell Nygren respects that, looks up to it. You need that kind of leadership in the dressing room, especially when the season's been as unpredictable as Glasgow weather. 1 minute sunshine, next minute you're soaked through, and maybe that's the difference, eh? Some players come to Celtic thinking they'll coast, just enjoy the crowd and the glory. But lads like Nygren, they graft, they learn, they want to earn their stripes in green and white. The goals, the assists, the hard running, it's all starting to come together. So here's what I want to ask you, and be honest with me. Is Benjamin Nygren finally proving himself as a key player for Celtic? Or are you still not convinced he's got what it takes to lead this team from midfield? Hit that subscribe button. Lads, let's giant loldy till we hit 1,500 mad Celtic dafts. Let's get into this one because I'm still shaking my head at it. You've probably seen it by now. Reo Hatate getting absolutely clattered in the box by that Rangers lad Mikey Moore during extra time at Hampton. Clear as day, Stonewall penalty, but somehow nothing. No whistle, no VAR, just silence. I mean, honestly, what's the point in having half the country sitting in a studio with 10 cameras if they can't see what everyone else in paradise saw in real time? Now, before we go blaming the refs, and let's face it, that's a national pastime at this point, the funny twist here is that some folk reckon Reo himself is to blame for us not getting that penalty. You heard that right, because instead of rolling about like he'd been hit by a bus on Sucky Hall Street, the lad just got up, dusted himself off and played on. Old school respect, proper footballer stuff, but apparently that's not how you get a penalty in Scotland these days. Nick Walsh gave one for handball earlier, didn't even blink when Ralston got punished for it, but when Reo gets flattened, nada. VAR didn't even bother to check. Maybe the lads in the booth were too busy making another cuppa, who knows? And yet, you see players all the time grabbing their heads, rolling about like they're auditioning for a West End drama, and those are the ones who get the decisions. Maybe that's the problem. Reo's too honest for his own good. It's almost tragic, isn't it? The one time you want a bit of acting, a wee tumble, and our lad's too pure-hearted to give it. If he just stayed down for 2 seconds screaming like, Tavernier after a shoulder bump, VAR would have had a field day with it. But no, Reo being Reo, he gets on with it, plays through it, and somehow we're the ones punished for his sportsmanship. And honestly, you've got to laugh, because if it was one of them in blue going down like that, the ref would have blown the whistle so fast his arm would have come off. We'd have seen 10 replays from 10 angles, and the commentators would have been talking about contact like it was a UFO sighting. Reo's a class act, no doubt, and he's one of the most technically gifted lads in Scotland, but maybe it's time he takes a page out of the Rangers playbook and adds a wee bit of drama to his game. Just a touch of Hollywood, you know? So here's what I want to ask you, Mads, and be honest, because this one will split opinion. Should Reo Hatate keep playing the honest way, or does he need to start acting like the rest of them to make sure Celtic get the decisions we deserve? Hit that subscribe button, lads. Let's guy it. Loldy till we hit 1,500 mad Celtic daffs. Let's have a wee chat about this one, because it's a name that just won't go away. Robbie Keane. Robbie Keane, the Irish legend who had the Parkhead crowd bouncing back in the day. Now he's being linked with the Celtic job again, and for once the man himself had something to say about it. So Keanu's over in Hungary just now, managing Ferencváros, and by the sounds of it, he's doing a solid job. His team's playing well, the fans love him, and he's got that natural charisma that made him a leader, even when he was banging in goals for fun. But when he got asked about the Celtic rumours, he did the classic cool-as-you-like response, didn't confirm it, didn't deny it, just said he's flattered. And you know what? You can tell it does mean something to him. He said, "I can't do anything about the speculation, but maybe it means I'm doing my job well." That's pure Robbie, isn't it? Humble enough to deflect, but smart enough to keep the door wide open. And you can't help but think, if the call from Paradise came, would he really say no? I mean, come on. This is the club that lights up his footballing soul. Meanwhile, poor Martin O'Neill's still juggling about like a man half his age, doing presses, training sessions, games, and public events like he's on a marathon. The man's 73, and he's said himself, this is just a short-term gig. You've got to love his passion, but everyone knows Celtic need a long-term plan, someone with energy, ideas, and a bit of fire, and Keanu's got that in spades. It's easy to see why the rumours won't die down. He's got that connection to the fans, he understands the Celtic way, and let's be honest, it'd wind up the lot from across the city something fierce. Imagine the meltdown if Robbie Keane walked into Paradise as manager. The tears from Ibrox would flood the Clyde. Still, the questions hanging in the air. Experience. Is managing Ferencváros enough to convince the board he's ready for a club the size of Celtic? Or would this be a gamble that could go either way, magic or mayhem? So here's what I want to ask you. If you had the choice right now, would you give Robbie Keane the keys to Paradise? Or do you think Celtic should go for someone with more experience at the top level? Hit that subscribe button. Lads, let's jai it. Laldi till we hit 1,500 mad Celtic dafts.